everybody. I wish I could find a witty reference to Jesus like you did, bringing him into the picture here. And I wish I was on the bus with you. Well, listen, for over 20 years, I have lived in Chicago's La Villita neighborhood alongside my mostly Mexican immigrant neighbors who epitomize the working poor in our nation. The majority of these men and women get by working in minimum wage jobs with few or no benefits. They often live one missed paycheck away from extreme hardship. Yet they continue working and striving to earn a chance to partake in the ever-elusive American dream. And I think that is true for more and more Americans today. And they contribute to the well-being of our great nation by anchoring the service industry jobs, to name just one, that most well-to-do Americans depend on every day. These families from every race, culture, and from every corner of the world who now call themselves Americans find themselves in extreme financial circumstance. Whether they live in major urban centers, in rural towns, in small cities, or in suburban pockets of poverty surrounded by wealth. My association, 1,000 groups all over the country, we used to think that poverty was just in the inner cities, but now it's everywhere. And the poor are in our neighborhoods, oftentimes hidden, and that's one of the reasons that we don't see what's going on. Failing to extend the improved tax credits would jeopardize their economic security and well-being. Without question, the $2,000 credit a married family with 3 children who are living at the poverty line qualify to receive can be the difference between survival and economic catastrophe. If we're to be a strong nation, we need strong, economically vibrant families and communities. It's hypocritical for lawmakers from either political party to talk about family values while abandoning improvements in these pro-family programs. Now, every day I am amazed by the courage and perseverance of single mothers, working couples in not only my neighborhood, but the surrounding African-American neighborhood, North Lawndale in Chicago, where I live. And let's be clear that, like millions of Americans, they are struggling for survival in these tough neighborhoods, but also in these very tough economic times. Let's not make their load even heavier by eliminating the important tax credits they receive and need to receive to help them to keep moving forward. As we gather here in our nation's capital this morning, few, if any, of the families who will be impacted most severely by the upcoming House vote right here are going to be present to speak out on behalf of their children or their neighbors. But if they were here in full force, they would remind us that they still believe that we're a nation of compassion and justice, a nation of hope and opportunity, and a nation that does not turn its back on its citizens, especially those who are in greatest need. So today, on behalf of these neighbors, I urge our lawmakers to do right by our families, to do right by our children, and to reject the notion that continuing to provide tax breaks for the wealthiest 2% of our citizens at the expense of support for our most vulnerable is in the best interest of the United States of America. We're here to declare that taking this path is not only misguided and immoral, but violates our most basic duty to love our neighbor as we love ourselves.
Amen.